Many Jamaicans, the question is, why does it take so long? And what about the conditions of our roads? So I'm here to give some context to the government's response to natural disasters and specifically the conditions of our roads. Bear in mind that the majority of our roads are under extreme stress for several reasons. First, many of our roads, in fact most of our roads, have passed their engineered useful life. They were built in the 50s and 60s and 70s, and the kind of maintenance that is required to extend the useful engineering life of these roads, we were not able to finance it over the last 50 or so years. We have roads that are past their useful life. I mean, if you consider in any community in Jamaica, the road that passed your gate, for example, when was that road built in your community? And you would say decades ago. And how many times in those decades was your road substantially rehabilitated? So what we're facing is an accumulation of disinvestment in our roads, which have reached a crisis point. The second factor that we should bear in mind is that many of the roads that were constructed were not necessarily constructed to the engineering standards that would carry the level of traffic and the load. So in the last 10 years, the last figures I looked at suggested that the number of cars have significantly, probably doubled in Jamaica under this administration. So the wearing surface of roads are under significant stress. The third factor that we should consider is the change in climate change. Weather-related events are impacting our infrastructure in significant ways. And consider it from 2 points of view. First, it is the rain events. Many of our roads were not built in the first place with drainage, with the proper camber, and the layers of asphalt sometimes would not have been at the thickness to withstand the wear. The other point to note is that aside from increasing rain, there is also increased runoff. We have more houses, more paved areas, and that in itself generates more water, which wears the surface of the road. Consider as well that the time has gotten hotter, and that in itself has an impact on the material that is used. So if you put all of these things together, it is quite understandable why all Jamaicans are frustrated with the road situation. So I want to say to the country that the government is aware of it. The government is not insensitive to it. But to put Jamaicans in the frame of mind to understand that the response is not patch the road. Yes, we must respond by patching the road. It gives temporary relief. But if you really want to see a transformational change in Jamaica's road circumstances, in the same way that we have transformed our financial circumstances, it takes enterprise-level plan to do it, meaning that it is a multifaceted response that is needed.